finger like this. They point with their lips. And it's not unique to here. I've seen that in a few other countries like Colombia. If you see that, you won't know what that means. If someone's talking to you and they do this, it actually means
a walk to convey power, a greeting that gets the upper hand, a gesture that can hide a lie, can betray us. When a president's under pressure, or celebrities in the media glare, look beyond the words. Their body language says it all.
It's a certain poise.
Self-touch gesture?
Touch, micro-expression.
The body, the face, and the voice.
It's about our country.
To reveal its hidden meaning. We hang on every word.
Tomorrow, we begin again.
Thank you.
killer's handwriting.
Research has shown that just 7% of human communication is through the actual words.
93% of what we communicate with others is. So it's our tone of voice, our pitch, our posture, micro expressions on our face, and different gestures that we might use. So we put all the significance on.
Fascinating world of nonverbal communication. The secret world of body language.
People have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
We'll view our celebrity, how people in the public eye try to control the way we perceive them. And how sometimes, despite their best efforts,
be cleared and I can move on with my life.
if you know what to look for.
It's not what you're seeing, it's what you're not seeing. And you're not seeing an
At this Camp David summit, President Bush is the host to visiting Russian President Vladimir Putin.
show strength.
Here, though, both leaders are making a strong body language statement.
Now here we are, two powerful world leaders.
But it's not just the speed of walking that sends out messages.
Vladimir Putin and George Bush, both of whom are fantastically powerful men, have two completely different kinds of power, and it evidences itself through body language. Vladimir Putin has what I would call a very animal power, a strongman power, and he walks by having his I would almost call it a kind of sexy power. George Bush, on the other hand, has a more traditional and I would say American power. There's
And complex and easily misunderstood. Here, President Clinton leads Israeli and Palestinian leaders Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat out before the press during peace negotiations.
No comment. So I have to set a good example.
The body language then revealed just why that was. Why that was.
Oh my. Wow. Almost a physical fight.
Many viewed this apparently lighthearted tussle as a sign that
Behind who goes through the door first. Now, of course, here in the West, letting someone through the door first doesn't really matter. It's polite, maybe. But in the Middle East, it doesn't really matter. It's polite, maybe. But in the Middle East, it has significant cultural impact.
The host, the power person, says, I'm in control, and says, I'm in control. I'll help you through the door. I'll show you the way.
Thank you.
throw
starts waggling his finger at Barak then uses it as an opportunity, like a wrestling match, to move round, to actually be behind Arafat, and then literally grabs Arafat, who holds him by the arm, and shoves him through the door.
Start going in.
the president's in charge of the choreography.
He goes through the door last, he uses his left hand, and taps Blair forward.
He displays a further bit of dominance.
Gives him 3 little taps, just to let him know that actually he's a good little boy, and that George W. Bush.
When body language savvy world leaders get together, they know there's one
Looking at the left of the picture, they always want to be standing on the left of the picture. Let me demonstrate. If I'm shaking hands here, what's going to happen? I'm at the bottom of the handshake. My palm is facing.
paid a visit to President Nixon at the White House.
We see a picture of Nixon, and he's shaking hands with Elvis Presley. Nixon's got the upper hand.
Then comes in and realizes he's on the wrong side of the photo.
Morning.
So when he reaches in to grab, he immediately crowds Putin.
As she emerges into the night, she knows the world is watching.
She knows, or at least has been told, that she's got to demonstrate that she's crosses her fingers and she holds them in front of herself like a very good girl.
I've never seen her do that gesture in any other situation.
W. Bush.
The thing about Bush, no matter matter if he says something wrong or he does some silly mistake. He becomes this little 6-year-old kid like, I made a mistake. He gets this little shoulder shrug, and he will even look you right in the...
Began to circulate. He decided to make a very public televised denial. His words were crystal clear.
And I have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
But his normally assured body language was not conveying a reassuring message.
These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
Your gestures and your body need to be in alignment. In this case, he's gesturing in one direction and looking in another direction.
I didn't see this head shaking no when he said he didn't have sexual relations with that woman.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
So although